27 News WKOW. Here's what's happening right now.
After a coronavirus outbreak on campus, virtual classes at UW-Madison start today. Still, some students say they feel like they're still at risk.
And presidential campaigns put a bullseye on Wisconsin this week. We'll tell you where the stops are and who's coming to town on this Monday, September 14th.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News. Wake up, Wisconsin.
Well, after a partially rainy weekend, we are in for some sun today. This is a live look over East Washington Avenue. Of course, we are still awaiting the sun's arrival, but we are in for some much more milder temperatures outside and dry weather. Good morning, and thank you very much for waking up with us. I'm Nick Buffo.
And I'm Rebecca Rively, along with meteorologist Max Superis. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Max. Today marks week 2 of classes at UW-Madison, but this time classes are virtual. The university reported 79 new positive COVID-19 cases yesterday, all in students. 48 of them live in university housing, where many are still quarantined right now. And even though new cases were reported, there is some good news.
Yeah, the rate of positive tests for COVID-19 has dropped back below 10% over the last 2 days. Meanwhile, this morning, students at Whitty and Celery Halls are starting their 5th day, full day that is, of quarantine. Residents of those 2 dorms have been ordered to shelter in place for at least 2 weeks. While students who test positive are moved into a separate building, some students say they still feel like they're at risk being told to stay in a place that has had so many cases.
But it's still stressful because it takes like 3 to 5 days after exposure for a test to come back positive, and we're not getting tested every day, so it's hard to get everybody over there as soon as possible, which is kind of stressful.
And students who do live in university housing are also required to get tested for COVID-19 every 2 weeks.
Statewide, our COVID-19 case count continues to grow. The percent of new coronavirus tests that came back positive in Wisconsin yesterday has nearly doubled. 20.5% of people tested now have COVID-19. Our 7-day average is up to 14.5%. In our area, Dane, Dodge, Jefferson, Rock, Walworth, and Grant counties had a high number of cases. And across the state, more than 89,000 people have had COVID-19. 1 more person has died, and the state total is 1,210.
Meanwhile, the world has broken a new record when it comes to COVID-19 cases. There were more than 300,000 new COVID-19 cases reported to the World Health Organization in just the last 24 hours. This now sets a new record for cases reported within 24 hours. The previous record was set last Sunday when about 306,000 cases were reported.
In the meantime, the world is still waiting on a vaccine, and we could soon know if a vaccine developed by Pfizer is effective. The CEO says there's a good chance the company will know if it works by the end of October. Pfizer has already started manufacturing the vaccine, making hundreds of thousands of doses.
In our base case, we have quite a good chance, more than 60%, that we will know if the product works or not by the end of October. But of course, doesn't mean that it works. It means that we will know if it works.
The CEO says he doesn't know how long it would take for regulators to approve it. A different vaccine by AstraZeneca on trial at UW was put on hold last week after a patient had a reaction in the UK. Now, that vaccine is resuming phase 3 trials, but only in the UK.
27 News time is now 6:05. Today, some school districts in our area will be discussing their reopening plans again after the state Supreme Court issued a temporary ruling blocking Dane County's order limiting in-person classes. Tonight, the school districts of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin Heights, and Middleton Cross Plains will all be discussing the state Supreme Court's decision and what they should do moving forward. But no final decisions will be made at any of those meetings happening tonight.
Today, St. Ambrose Academy in Madison will have in-person instruction. They were part of the petition to the state Supreme Court. The campus, normally all in one building, has been divided into 2 locations. St. Ambrose will also have a virtual option.
As wildfires continue to destroy thousands of acres out west, volunteers from Wisconsin are stepping up to help.
Plus, why health officials in Nevada want to fine the Trump campaign after his most recent rally. 27 News time is 6:06. You're watching Wake Up Wisconsin.